Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Kevin Preston's Toy Encyclopedia. For today's fun, we present to you from approximately 1959, Ideal's fighter jet. This is another console toy. This is extremely well made, very nice period piece. This particular example is in very good condition. There's no major scratches, there's nothing broken on it, and we've enjoyed playing with this quite a bit. If you look around the internet, there's not a lot of information on it, but a few of the sites I've seen, some morons have said, well, this is primitive and goofy or something of that nature. It's like, you know what? You idiots don't have any idea how cool these old toys were that required some imagination and were kind of the height of mechanical engineering. This is a great example. So much goes on with this toy, it's not even funny. I'm going to straighten it out here a little bit for you so you can see it. Basically what we have is we have a console with a center joystick here, a radar type scope screen right here, and various instruments. Some of these instruments are controlled manually, but a couple of them are actually integrated and have some functionality within the machine itself. I particularly like this bank and turn instrument right here. As you can see, I went in for a little close-up here. As you move the joystick back and forth, the bank indicator shows an indication there. That's really nice. If you move over to this instrument, the airspeed instrument, you'll see in a moment how it will fluctuate once the motor's activated on this. So the little red joystick right here, it's not really a joystick, it's kind of a forward-backwards movement, turns the unit on. We have an off-course warning red button, a course indicator to turn that on, target beam, radar scope, and then over here we have a range setup and a finder. Now, these things all tie in with various functions of the unit. So the first thing we'll do is look at the radar scope. Another part of the machine at the top is this little missile firing machine. And you fire these darts. I'll take one out here for you. You fire these rubber-tipped darts, and they basically fit back here in one of four little cannon areas, and then these buttons fire each of the four. This little flip-up target sight is more for fun than functionality, but there it is. So let's start it up, shall we? All right. So what you can see is the motor starts up, and you can turn on your radar scope right here, and that shows essentially your target that you're going after, lights up. Let me pull in here so you can see that a little better. And what you can do is one of the games you can play is activate your off-course indicator, and what you try to do is keep that in the crosshairs, if you will, with your joystick, otherwise the red light will come on. And on the top of this joystick you have a red button that will activate your machine gun. So that's kind of a lot of play fun right there. Now where the toy really gets interesting is when you activate your target beam. And use the same switch right here. You can turn off the off-course indicator, or you can leave it on. And you hit your target beam. Now, what does that do? Well, it's hard to tell in this brightly lit room, and I'll show you some examples in a moment. But the toy has a set of, I'm not kidding you, rotating mirrors on a turntable inside here, with a light that projects silhouettes of enemy fighter jets that you then fire on with the machine gun. Or if you're unable to, quote-unquote, knock them out, what you can do is put one of the target's missiles in right here, aim for it because it's projected on your wall, and when you fire one of the darts, it shuts off the motor and shows you whether the dart hit the target on the wall or not. And then you release it, it goes on. So let me give you a little idea of how this projection system works. It's really cool. Here we are looking at the back of the unit, and as you can see, there's a cutout there, and there's a rotating mirror, and I'm going to turn the unit back on again so you can see it. Okay, that shines a light out the back of the unit. This is extraordinarily cool in a toy. I've never seen anything like this that does something like this. This is really cool. When I got this, I did not know it did this function. I just thought it was just a play console, and I love old play consoles, and I knew about the radar scope thing. I didn't know it had this projection system in the back, which to me it makes it one of the coolest vintage toys ever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this and project it onto the wall and see if the video camera can pick it up. I'll dim the lights. So it's more of a romantic mood. Luckily, I've got a pretty cool camera here that allows me to pick this stuff up. As you can see, the silhouettes going across the wall as it projects it. And what's really cool, and I don't know if you can pick this up, the range controller, that little tab, allows me to focus them a little better. And then I can select, I don't know if you can pick this up, the type of aircraft, fighter jets, big bombers, missiles, and it changes the silhouette. There's a missile, for example, right there. I don't know if you can see it. So what you're supposed to do is sight these things in your little scope, and I'm going to load one of the missiles up here. And then you aim it. Now, it's not going to stick to the wall, but you're going to kind of see what I'm talking about here. And that, I wasn't really aiming, but the idea was you'd stop it like right there and see if your missile had hit your target. I just fired, without even really looking. So the idea is that if you had a semi-slick wall, and I've done this even with these ancient darts, they'll stick to like a painted wall, like a closet wall or a mirrored closet. If you had hit your target, it would show up the dart actually sticking where the light is for the silhouette of the plane. That was just really cool. So not only is this an imagination toy, it's a functional game toy as well. Release the target button and there it goes. The thing I love about this toy is, not only is it something you could play with on a purely imagination level, but it was a skill game as well. And it's just really cool. So there you have it. One of Ideal's best toys, one of the best toys of the period, and certainly one of the finest console toys. Really well made, very durable. I've seen a lot of examples of this toy that are in just as good shape. Interestingly, a lot of original boxes are out there. I do have the original box, which has great drawn graphics on it. There is a rocket launcher setup, I believe it's called the Ideal Countdown, that seems to be made out of the same plastics, has a lot of the same kind of look, and I'm currently looking for one of those. And it fires various sizes of missiles off of a timer and has a little conveyor for the rocket. So this period was very hopeful, very space age, very jet age, and it's reflected wonderfully in the toys of the period.